My brother.
Okay, answer. No. Are you ready? Okay. Excuse me.
Hey, all's on.
Hi, I'm Marcia's brother.
We're so glad you're here.
I'm so glad I'm here. So it's a blessing to see all of you all, to meet all of you all. I think most of you I had some kind of interaction with, some kind of connection point, and it's been a real blessing. And one of the greater blessings is Miss Mary Ann here. She's been just a joy and a blessing in my life, and in many ways an anchor and a sounding board. And we kind of often when we've talked and mixed it up a little bit, some prophesyings come out and some alliterations and so forth. I think one of the last times before this event, it kind of captured this event was the presence of God, along with purpose, will enable us, it will generate the power to possess what God has for us in 2014. So in kind of some sense it encapsulated, the weekend, as we all are magnificent in our own right, but and powerful as well. That we've come here, we've collectively looked for God, looked for that purpose in us. Boom, we have the presence, and with the Holy Spirit power in us, we're able to go forth and possess what God has for us already. So I want to go into the history and all that stuff, and just want to kind of get to the point. What I've gained from all this just before getting here, and Marianne kind of confirmed that, was in my life all these different things going on with my job. I'm an engineer for the Department of Defense, also minister of the gospel, ordained reverend, and all that stuff. And also I'm an entrepreneur.
He's also a comedian.
I've had that going on for a long time. And I have a big heart for youth, especially inner city youth. I've done rites of passage programs for kids from the inner city and all around. You all heard the name of Shia LaBeouf? Yeah. He was in our group. It's called the Shalom Zone back in the early 90s.
Wow.
And he's one of the products of the group as well.
Nice.
He had some real things going on. He's still working too, but he's obviously blessed. And you see him on the big screen. But that's my heart largely with the youth. I have plenty of inventions I work on up here, some on paper. So right now what I've gained from this event is to streamline those things, because one of the things that God had shared with me before I got here was to simplify, to settle, and to serve. So simplify my life, settle these things, and just serve. Just serve. And I believe in focusing on that and doing that, it'll come to pass of like streamline, stabilize. Serve. Sounds familiar. But praise God. That's what my takeaway is, to gather. One of the things I've done in my job the past 15 years is a Bible study at lunch. And from that, cross-section, Catholic, Protestants, young, old, black, white, Asian, you name it, different backgrounds. Largely work with engineers, logisticians, and technical folks and so forth. But come together every week, and we learn different ways. God shows up in different ways. And from that, I started the Kingdom Network. And so that's kingdomatwork.com, thekingdomatwork.com, and that's coming back around. And from that, I'm looking at, thank you, Ray, 2.0, getting the youth, focusing on the youth, and having inventive ways to plug them into the kingdom. So that's my takeaway from here. And I want to thank each and every one of you for being some aspect and some part of that in my life, because it has helped. Shannon, Jody, Carrie, Eldon. That's my homie right there. But thank you. I think my time's up. So, God bless you. I get 30 seconds for this. And to say that, thank you. Came in here, eyes just a mess. But my sister prayed on the way in, and what really happened by the end of the whole, I could see it. They're not bothering me, And Jody gave me a word coming in about God giving me the vision first in the spirit before my eyes are cleared up. So I think I got it. So I got it. Took me out there. I think some of y'all saw that. I was getting my feelings, so I'm filled up. I'm overjoyed. I'm excited. I'm about ready to go get and go possess. God has given me the power to possess. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen.
Thank you. What? No,
Thank you, Kathy.
Our salsa queen.
So I'm not a speaker, so I mean.
Yes, you are.
Yes,
You are right now.
I don't want to be. I want to be me. But
That's right.
what I got out of this weekend, this weekend started 2 years ago when I met Mary Ann.
Oh.
I met her at a marketing conference, Craig. You've all heard of Craig. And that didn't do much for me, but what I got out of that was I met Mary Ann. And I was at the lowest point in my business. I was very successful until 3 years ago when I took a
Dive.
dive. Yeah, it took a dive, and I met her there, and I did not seek her help because I didn't think I needed it until a year later, which was last year. And as of the point where she started coaching me and she started talking to me, and it's not really coaching, she doesn't coach, she just talks to you and brings out the best of you. And since then, I have even, not only did my business start taking off, but I also started a side one. And I come to find out that I really wasn't doing really what I wanted, but now I am. And now I'm making money, and everything is so good. And I would have never been up here because I don't like to talk in front of people. But anyway, every single one of you,
engineer.
I'm a techie. So every single one of you that I met this weekend, I told Mary Ann yesterday at the Craig's event, I didn't feel connected. I didn't with anybody. But as soon as I got here on Friday, I wasn't going to do that ceremony that you were doing. I was not. And by the end, I was like, yeah, I want to do this. And once I did that, I released all those, I don't want to call them fears because I usually say that I'm not scared of anything, but they were fears. And in that group that we were in yesterday, with her and who was the other one? And you, it was amazing. And I don't cry, but they made me cry. It was great. I went back to the room yesterday and I'm like, God, I can't believe I did that. But, and I also learned so many things about myself that I did not know this weekend. And I thank you all, and I really hope that we all stay connected. And I don't know, I feel like you guys are my family now.
All right. Hi, everybody. I'm Mindy.
Hi, Mindy.
Hi. Thank you. I am delighted to be here. And I am a greatness enabler. And I've said that about myself for probably 5 years, but I really believe it after this weekend. Because I believe that I am great. This has been such a transformational experience for me. I'm really on cloud 9. First, I want to give you an example of how this worked for me. Okay, so Dee said that over on this bench. By the way, we have someone's green highlighter. There you go. So you know what? Here it was. I came in like this. I'm in the lost, but now I'm going to move over here because now I am in the found. I found myself. I found my voice. The most pivotal point for me this weekend was when Mary Ann was talking with us about insufficiency. I've had this inferiority complex my whole life. I have always been an overachiever. You know, people would look at me and they go, "What? There's nothing wrong with you. I mean, you're out there. You know, you got it going on." But inside, I never felt worthy. I never felt like I had it going on. And now I know that not only do I have it going on, but it is just exuding out of my pores, and I'm going to truly enable greatness in others, like I say I want to. So I'm really excited, and I'm going to do something else that I've never done before. I mean, this is a huge step for me.
Let's do it.
I need your help. I need you to support me. I need you to hold me accountable. I need you to look at my website, tell me what you like about it, what you don't like about it, because I am at a point where I've got like just cursory parts of it, melindastallings.com. And I have always shirked back and kind of not held people accountable for what I have paid for, what I've asked them to do for me, and I have got such power in my soul right now that I don't need to be apologetic. I need to ask for what is my right to receive. And I'm going to ask you all to please help me. Cool. And I have never asked for help before because I didn't think it was my right to ask for help. So I just want to say that when I met Mary Ann through Craig Duswalt, and I joined the mastermind, and she came over to a table where Carrie and I were standing, and I just talked with her just briefly, just really briefly, and it was for me like, and so when she announced that she was having this retreat, I kept waiting for it to come out on her website, and I responded to her webpage and took her quiz, and I think even offered a couple of little things that you had there, and you got those corrected, and I was so excited to be part of that. And so then I started trying to sign up, and I couldn't. And so time went by, and my dear friend Carrie says, "I'm going to go to this thing with Mary Ann." And I'm like, "Oh yes, Mary Ann's thing, I want to go." Well, long story short, here I am, and I am thrilled to be here. Each of you are the most incredible people. I have established something with each of you, I think. And if I haven't, then I have seriously missed out on a golden opportunity, and I want you to reach out to me, please, so I can do that. The physical body that you're looking at right here, it's the same one that walked through the door on Saturday morning. What's inside this body is a complete transformation. Just a complete transformation. I am so grateful to you. And you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and you, and Jean, yes, you too. Thank
Reminds me, Chad, I want to make sure you guys keep in mind, not what you're experiencing all of this, not being ourselves is very difficult. It's out there, we are in a safe cocoon environment here, where God has given us the ability to see that, expand in it, really embrace it, and we know now, what does it feel like to actually feel like us, you know, without all the interference. But when you get out, you will have interference. It just is there, you know? So sometimes people think, what happened? What's wrong with me, right? Because I start to feel that sense of constriction again. That's why we need each other. So don't get blown away and think there's something wrong with you that you feel that when you go back into your normal routines. It happens. But post it on Facebook, you know? Ask for prayer. We can remind you. We all have to go through this, you know. But out there, by standing on the truth of who you are over and over and over and over again, the interference will get less and less. I mean, it'll still come, but you will be affected by it less and less and less, right? Amen. Yes,
There will be trouble in this world,
that's right.
but fear not,
That's right.
right?
Yeah,
For
be
I've
of good
overcome the
cheer.
world.
Be an overcomer.
Right.
Yes.
Reminding each other.
Right. Yeah, thank you. Who do we have here?
Just this table.
Okay.
It's awesome.
Dee, do you want to go?
Sure, I'll go.
Okay. Okay.
Give your real name this time.
Okay.
Don't use mine.
You know, I want
Exactly.
to say something too. After somebody talks, I want to rush up and tackle them and give them all these noogies and hugs and stuff. And I started noticing, and I wasn't doing it in the beginning, and I started noticing this, you know? And then I thought, well, but you didn't do it for the first meeting.
You can give her noogies, it's okay. We can start.
Well, I will spread them out when this is all done.
So Jean said I had to give my real name, so my real name is Dolores Loretta Shader.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you.
Beautiful.
And I know I go by Dee. But anyways, I have no idea what I'm going to say. I'm here because I support her.
Mm. Yes, you do.
Make me cry.
Stop it, girlfriend.
Tissues are right behind you.
Okie dokie. We're gonna say it. I'm stubborn.
You got 3 minutes left to be stubborn.
Sorry, just
That's good.
entertaining me. So anyways, I have been right now since I'm not sharing anything that's I haven't already shared, but since with the cancer stuff and everything, I just got this message at a point of to just be and rest in me, and that he would do the work. And so I really didn't know what that meant, but you know, you guys don't know that you have been sending me his messages, because all of those insecurities have been spoken to. And even in our little group in there, you know, my insecurities were spoken to. And then Glenn spoke to them again, you know, without even knowing. And so those things that I have been carrying with me for so many years, it's just like, you idiot.
Can't do that.
No, but I'm just saying, if that's, I'm like that. I'm like,
You used to be an idiot.
I used to be an idiot. And so, I'm here, I am here because I support Marianne, and I believe in what she does. I've seen her path, I've been on her path with her. We, you know, without saying names, she has said, coming off of a conference call or something and saying, you know, I want you to just be praying for the person that I just spoke to. Just be praying for them. And that's it. That's all she had to say. You know, just be praying for them. So I have prayed for all of you, and I didn't even know you. So now I'm like, oh, look at her. That's who that, you know, and that type of thing, because of your little stories about what you do, what your business is, you know. And she, you know, she keeps that all to herself, you know, and she doesn't repeat, you know. Yeah. So, but she asks for prayer because she knows that the Lord already knows what it is, but that you need to be lifted somehow, you know. And especially as I was sick, it was a good thing for me to be doing because I couldn't do anything else. So, you know, just to be praying. So, I'm here because I support her. I've always supported her. We've known each other for 30 years. You know, we've gone through a lot of different things together. We helped them move 4 times. George will never do it again because Jean's safe, you know. So, you know, like I said, you've all spoke to me without knowing that you were speaking to me, and healed me in ways that I needed to be healed, you know, from my soul, and giving me clarification that those things that are my gifts and my talents, that the Lord really does want me using them, and that there is a place in the world for them. So just thank you all, and thank you for your hugs and your warmth, and like I said, as long as Mary Ann, you know, is, you know, here and stuff, I will always support her and everything that she does, you know, so firstly I was here for her, but then I wanted to be here for you at the same time, so I've enjoyed it.
Are you here for you? You were here for me.
Oh, yes, no, I was absolutely here for me, and that's that part of letting, just being and just resting. I knew I had to come for that, just to be and just to rest in, and that he would
It's amazing
deliver.
how much work she did and just saying,
Yeah.
just to rest.
Yeah. Yeah, and I was just resting in what he had for me, because I know that the Lord works through people, and I'm open to that. And I know when it's him, and I know when it's them. And so I'm resting in what he has been teaching me all these years. And I, you know, start my day with him and don't give him my leftovers at the end of the day as I'm falling asleep, you know. So, yeah, I was here for me too. But, you know, I wanted to support her because I knew that the Lord had something for me here, and it was to build me up. Because he knows I'm coming from a place where I need to be built up, you know, and 7 months of not doing anything, you know, really takes its toll. So to know that I'm participating in life again was something that I needed to do. So yes, serving us.
Yes, thank you very much.
So Carol's kind of saying she doesn't have to contribute because she's an event coordinator.
I didn't say that. I said he could go first.
Sorry.
I'll be jerking them up. Whatever me, I'm leaving.
You've got 4.5 minutes.
That's good. Let's keep tangling. So the one thing I did learn this weekend is I do have a rebellious spirit. You never knew that? We knew that. Oh, shocker, right? I know.
We'll be selling the t-shirt later, right?
Right, we're defining it ourselves.
Yeah.
So, this is my favorite event that I do. In all the events that I have the opportunity to serve. This lady has changed my life. I met her almost 4 years ago. And the moment I saw her on stage, I related to her. And she came off, and I just went up to her and I started crying. And she thought I was crazy because she had just come off stage and she was overwhelmed with what she was doing in herself. And we hugged and I got her book and just didn't know where that went. But God has brought her into my life, and I never had a mom that poured into me. Or that believed in me. She believes in me, but not the fact that she could pour back into me. It's like I'm always pouring into her. She was never that friend, and Mary Ann's that person for me. And God blesses us with those people in our lives. And I call her Mama, but she's my spiritual mama. And so I love to be here. I love being here to support her and to pray over her and to pray over you, all of you. And I know the desires of our heart for this group. And so I feel really special and I feel blessed to be that close to you. And I love that man that's way back there that supports her. Because he supports every one of you.
Amen.
Not just her. And so I thank you. I thank you for your encouragement all the time. One of the things I wanted to share this year was I wanted to share this with my husband because it means so much to me. I get so much from it. And so this year he's here.
Mm.
And to see the life changes that are happening for him and to see the guys pulling together and pouring into one another is just a huge blessing. I think for all of us women, even though I'm already married, that shows us that there are godly men in this world. And that we can have faith in our God to provide that for each and every one of us. So I want you all to know that, you single ladies, there's somebody there for you, and just trust him and don't chase it on your own. I kind of wanted clarity when I came this year. I kind of know what God was saying to me. He's been speaking a lot to me, so I was reading through my notes last night, and I was like, dude, these are way too simple. These are too childlike. This is kind of, I want more. I want details, I want depth. And I said to Marianne, I want my quiet time today, so if you can give us an hour, he's gonna download. I am gonna get that depth because my notes are, I just need it. And so as I was sharing that outside, one of the words that was spoken to me at the table was, at the very end of my spirit-led group, Miguel turned to me and said, I have a word from God for you.
Wow.
And God said, I am simple. I am of simplicity. And stop making this so complicated. And so, Marianne, when we broke, said, you wanted this hour? You asked for this, why aren't you taking it? Because the simplicity is simple. In my notes are what he wanted me to know. So it's great. And I'm to be me. I'm to be present. I'm to be with him. And this year, it's to unite with him. It's to intercede. It's to intercede for my family, but the devil's trying to kill, steal, and take away. And it is to take it back. And it is to own it and to believe that God has the greater in he that is in us, that he has greatness for them. Each and every one of my children, and the devil can't destroy that. And I'm to intercede for them. I'm to intercede for my husband, and I'm to intercede for my business and family more than anything this year, and to unite with him. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm just going to take my daily time and pour into him so he can pour back out for me.
Good word.
Thank you, Carol.
You're the cheering squad.
Now.
How did I get to be last?
No, we haven't heard from Gene yet.
Okay, great.
Do you want to be?
No, I'm Ron. I'm Carol's husband, and I really didn't come here this weekend for myself. I came here to support her, or at least that's what I thought. So she sent me the question, Marianne, I want you to answer this question before you go to the event. So I spent about 2 seconds to answer the question. I'm like, God, what do I want? Clarity and direction. Okay, clarity and direction. So we get here and it seems to be a theme. Everybody wants clarity and direction. So another theme, I'm asking God, you know, I'm a man of planning. I got to have the 12-step plan of what we're going to do. And he says to simplify. That seems to be what he told you too. No more than 3 things. You can get 3 things done. It doesn't overwhelm you, so 3 things. So, crazy thing, Carol started an event management company. Why did she start an event management company? Well, I heard the whisper that said so she could do my events.
Oh,
and I kind of
yeah.
laughed that off. Kind of laughed that off. But then I think, what are my talents? What do I do easily? Well, speaking comes naturally. We took a speech class together, and she did all of her homework and all that stuff, and I winged it, and I got an A, and she did.
She said she got a B.
I worked so hard for that school.
She worked so hard. And then the next thing is I enjoy writing. I don't know why I enjoy to write. That fear that sits on my shoulder tells me that I don't really know anything. I don't have I don't really have a good education. I'm a high school dropout. I'm a loser.
Ugh.
But I'm in tune to the source of wisdom. So if I just write down on paper what he tells me, it's gonna be great. So I enjoy writing. So that's this 3 simple things. I'm gonna write, and I'm gonna speak, and I'm gonna let God. So that's what I'm gonna do. So Toastmasters is something that I've been into, and I was really good at it. Why I quit 3 years ago, I don't know. I've been in the desert for about 3 years now. I came back from Afghanistan. I had all these plans to get back in, and I haven't. Miguel was great. In our little group, he just spoke those words of wisdom to us, and he said that your job is your security blanket. There's no increase in the military. Congress gives us a 1% pay increase. That's great, but God has so much more than that. And so, my 23rd year, I need to let go of that security blanket, step out into the unknown, and see what God has in store. To not worry about the finances, because that's the big worry thing. I got to be the supplier. I got to have. I don't know where it's coming from, but apparently there's going to be multiple streams of income.
Yeah.
And I'm not to worry about where they're coming from, but they'll be there when the time comes.
12, 13, 14.
That's right.
Take that one step forward, and when I get there, I'll see a little bit closer of what goes next. And I don't need to see the 12 steps ahead of me. I just need to see that next step. And so if I take that next step, God will take care of the rest. Thank you.
Nice. Kathy.
I'll be fast. You don't have to roll on me today. Okay, all business.
Wait, Kathy, I can't take a picture because I don't have your password.
4354.
That's your ATM pin too.
It's not my Sorry, that's funny. So, a couple things. One is my company, or I consult. My favorite thing, one of my favorite roles to play is as a conductor overseer, which is when people have a compelling vision or a passion to be in business. I have always believed that that's a God-given inspiration. And those of you that are entrepreneurs know what I'm talking about. You're burning in your gut, I have to do this thing, I'm not sure how I know to do it other than I know how to create these results for people. When people share that, I can see that with them and I can help them steward that and build a model around that that actually fits them. Because each of us are wired differently. And so while every business function has to happen in a business, it doesn't all have to be done by the leader. You don't have to be a specialist in marketing or sales or accounting or delegation, but you do need to know what your strengths are and how to build a team and build a revenue model that will create the income that will run your business profitably. So, and I've been doing that for a long time. I didn't go to school for that. I learned it. Those kind of things. But in this year, as God was giving me this new model, He gave me 4 roles that I show up and play. I end up playing all the time. And one of those is a conductor overseer. People have their ideas and they need to be able to get things done and they need to find the shortest, fastest route to do that. So as a consultant and strategist, I can help them do that. And my end game in business is always to help them turn those efforts into profit. And so as I've been waiting on the Lord, I have had more inspiration this year, which so I'm just kind of reinforcing what we talked about a little bit earlier. I've had more inspiration and more models downloaded to me than I've ever had without my strategic plan. But I've been able to help people. So I want to anchor. So for every one of you that are in business, your ability to lead, your ability to deliver an outcome, implement a process, or create an experience is tied directly to your compensation. So anything that compromises your ability to show up in your depth, solve that problem, implement a process, create that experience, or help people, what else I say, deliver that outcome, costs you. It costs you, I mean, just in a basic business sense, it's going to cost you financially and in brand reputation. But when we think about spiritually, how God has uniquely wired us to bring solutions to our clients and to the world, it costs us spiritually. And so I want to encourage you. One of my life verses that I got, I'll have to go back and look because this was probably been 7 or 8 years ago, is 1 Peter 4:10. And very similar, they made me break it down into pieces. 1 Peter 4:10 and 11 says, to each I have given gifts to faithfully serve the body, which used to mean that you had to work in the church nursery, you had to work in the kitchen, right, or in administration. To each I have given gifts to serve the body and faithfully steward to express my grace in its various forms. So if you begin to break that down, each of you, each of us, every person he created, every person, has a gift that when it is expressed, expresses his grace in that form.
Yeah.
So we think of grace as just kind of covering forgiveness, unmerited favor that we kind of give this blanket statement to. But the fact that Carrie can show up in her gifting and her ability to bring her engineering and her synthesis and her ability to see those pictures and turn that into software and a platform, that is an expression of his grace
Yes.
to her clients.
Amen.
Every one of you.
Amen.
And boy, when I got that, oh my, because it takes away judgment. We can't judge people. It says you don't have the same gift, you don't have the right gift, you're not doing your gift the right way. And then the next verse that follows is another little weighty piece. It says, so let every man that speaks, let him speak as an oracle of God. So I've been learning this year that I can actually speak less. Because the impartation by association, which is the new phrase, is like, because the Spirit speaks to Spirit, and God says that he influences the minds of the leaders. So he actually cuts through all the crap when we're trying to market. He's the one, right? And so this flip side, so now in my business strategy, and in every way I can, I am trying to show up and hear and say what I hear and speak directly to the need. So I haven't really known how to market that or package that. So one of the things I came for was like, I need the phrase. I need to be able to say what I do. And our table came up with some great key phrases. I'm still sitting on them. You know, a couple of them were practical strategies to sound business and faith at work. Because I have clients that come to me that they are not interested in spiritual development. They want to know how to make money doing what they do. And I have others that are like, I really need to be able to hear the Lord on this. And because I believe that because when we're aligned in the Spirit, our life is actually already complete in Him. It's about seeing what He's already completed for us so we can release that in the now. And to be able to partner with them to contend for that and see that and release it in the now. So as a strategist, I'm hoping that that verse encourages you to pursue that thing and to pursue that audience, because your signature sound is going to resonate. Just as you watched Marianne over the last couple of years, so as you know her, as she has stepped more and more and more into her voice, it was less about the marketing position or even what she said she did. It was the signature sound that caused us
Jesus.
to come. It's because she had something to bring to the body that was imparted.
Yeah.
And that each one of us in this community imparted to each other. So when we say, oh, I don't have time to really figure out how to hear God, or I don't have time because I need to show up to work, we actually, it's a counterintuitive acceleration in connection and community. So I'm here to serve. So if I can help you in any way, if my cards are going around, you'll notice they say get monetized now. That's the brand God had me put on hold after I invested a year on it. But I'm simply Kathy Nelson, and I am in tenacious pursuit for those leaders who want alignment with the kingdom and release what He's meant for them.
Marianne, I just want to say, you know, my connection with you and all this is due directly to that man there.
Yes.
I didn't get a chance to honor him.
Yes.
To tell you how important you've been in my life over these past 30 years in terms of my walk with the Lord. And Jean has been afar, but always deeply committed to my personal spiritual development. Thank you.
Your turn. Your turn. Your 5 minutes.
So you get 10 minutes.
Give it over to 10. All right, you're done.
So, James Joyce introduced the concept formally to us about stream of consciousness, so that's what you're going to hear right now. Just going to kind of throw up. California heliotrope, lion, shin, 7.
I wanted to
living, Kathy, was living from grace to grace. An amazing concept. When we think about that, how that is who we are. We are not only given and covered by grace, but we are grace. And as we've discovered more and more, for me, and I'll tell you about that as I stream, it just becomes hugely overwhelming. There's a verse in, I think it was Psalm 118, where David is talking about the higher. Is there something wrong?
Sorry, I'm hungry.
Well, I have to go to the bathroom, but I'm not.
Thank you.
David says in Psalm 118, effectively, I can't even imagine who God is to me. His thoughts are, it's not just that your thoughts are higher than my thoughts. It's that I'm just coming into tune with the idea, into the concept that it's not that they're so mysterious or non-understandable, it's just that I haven't been looking for them and I haven't made myself available to it. So he wants that. Going from grace, we all, I mean, the whole idea about it is David and I, we're all talking, and then we're talking, this whole idea of being saved is one of those things which either misdirects our thinking or totally underestimates this whole package of life for ourselves, right? And as we begin to awaken, which I think is what's happened here, to the more of what's available to us, it becomes astounding. Can we not just lie down at night and think, gosh, what did I hear today?
Yeah.
And fall asleep with those thoughts. You know, whatever true, noble, good, a good report, think on those things. And for me, I've been kind of put off a little bit. This is sort of the men's group stuff. Put off a little bit by the institutional church, disappointed by it, let down by it, all those things, and I've got my own part in it. I see all that. But this weekend for me has really reinvigorated me in a number of ways. I found 5 other men who understand and who have supported me, some of them for a long, long time, others anew, but I've got a new partnership here with new eyes, people who have vigor in their lives but see things like maybe totally differently. But that body coming together and those gifts coming together, the gifts coming together, I mean, it's just an amazing expression for us of life. What I enjoy doing is I enjoy traveling. I have now lived 71 winters. And during those times, I've seen lots of stuff and been lots of places and arrested murderers and organized crime people and married and buried, and I enjoy talking about that. So my request is, as you hear people say, I wonder who we can get to talk, and they want to hear about adventures around the world and extremes of life and how God shows up in every one of those, think of me. You've heard some of my story about my wife. I'm not going to wax on, although I will if I'm required to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The importance of partnership, and in my instance, it's a marriage. In other instances, it can be a business partner. In other instances, it can be another relative, or it can be a friend. But the importance of somebody else, that you'll just be as transparent as you can possibly be, and allow them to speak to you and encourage them to ask that never-ending question, what would you like to say to me? If you can say anything you want, and you're free to say anything you want, what would you say to me? And to be available to hear the answer and not defend it, not justify, and expect that the answer is coming out of an answer of love, and to expect that this person in my life understands that it's edifying, comforting, and exhorting. Life changes. Life becomes so different, and having those partners and having more than one is exciting, just totally exciting. So I am so appreciative of not only my wife, who works diligently for me and around me and about me, and does all of what she's doing.
Requires a lot of work.
It's true. It is true. Is an outstanding thing, but we've tasted, we've tasted of that here. And lots of people, we go to lots of places, and we see lots of retreats, and we do lots of mountaintop experiences, and we have ultimately, invariably, go off and you say, who was there again? The least that we can do that from this time would be, for me, a pleasure and a bonus for what we've got. We all go back to work, and we all have our stuff, and we're all different and that kind of thing. Let's keep together.
Yeah. Yes.
Let's do that. And however that looks, even just an occasional note, or, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what I would have for us. And that's part of what we got. So I want to thank the men particularly. I mean, ladies, it's a delight. For me, this weekend has really been a lovely thing as it related to my contact with the men. And so,
We love you, Jane.
so thanks.
Here, because we're done.
Oh, group photo. We need a group photo.
Yeah, a group photo.
Group photo.
I want you to go in a park. When you guys are gonna be.
You guys, I found this in the bathroom.
It's pretty good. Lingy bobby pin.
Lingy.
I think that's mine.
What's that?
That's mine.
Oh, not for them, for you.
I hold my
Oh, it's
hair
for
with
me.
It's not yours, David. It's not yours, Al.
You want to do it now?
Yeah.
I don't. Here's a quick reason. I might even get you another one though. Okay? What do you want to do? Yeah. I'll get you another one. I gotta order it though. I didn't have it.
If we do this for the picture, we have to do it quick.
But no, I mean, you said-
Jane said I need to talk.
Guys, Naomi just sent a text that she would like to share with the group.
I like the first one better. It's great. It's still another
Jane, if you go to
One second, Naomi sent me a text and she said she wrote, because we prayed for her about her daughter Sharon, she said, I wrote Sharon a text, hit send when I was in Carlsbad. She wrote back, thanks mom, exclamation point. Just showered and feeling great, and she just wanted everybody to know that our God's an awesome God.
We want to do a picture.
yeah, let's do it quick.
Yes, do it.
Group photo real quick, guys.
Organize them. Yep. Tell people to
Okay.
Doesn't need to be any, forget the lipstick. Okay?
Raises the bar.
I think we should set up chairs and you just lay on it. There you go.
She is putting lipstick on.
For God's sake.
If we're not here, raise your hand. If we're not here, raise your hand.
I'm here, but
She's right here, as long as she just wanted us to all get the lights.
not in the
And then she.
What are you doing?
Reorganize
Come on,
quickly.
beautiful.
Come on.
Yeah.
Now, Mary Ann, you're supposed to do the splits across the front.
Carol.
Hey, feet on your.
I'm sorry.
Don't break it.
Mary
Mary
needs to be in a chair, Marianne.
Mary
Well,
Ann's
like
always
in
good.
the middle.
Where's the crown? Okay.
Jody, how are you gonna get in the picture?
Yeah.
We're gonna take a couple.
I'll hold this.
I'm gonna take an extra.
Here's what I'll do.
Then you have
Does that
to,
work?
then you have
Does
to.
that work?
Wait a second.
I'm gonna take a lot of pictures.
Oh, okay.
Connection!
Just keep smiling. Gooey shot.
Everyone with funny faces on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hey, that wasn't 3.
That was my serious
You have to get in the picture.
I'm about to. All right, one last picture. 1, 2, 3. Say Marianne.
Don't move, don't move. Don't move.
Everybody stay here.
Don't move, don't move.
Don't move.
Okay.
Don't move.
Right into your boots right here.
That's the first. My boob.
Somebody.
She got the beads and the hair.
Jean's face.
Come on over here.
He's not there. Oh, yeah, he's not there.
Cheese.
Jean will Photoshop you right here.
Okay.
You won't tell you.
Okay.
Are we good?
No.
No.
Okay.
Ready?
Boy, you're snotting.
I think we're almost good.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, we're always right.
We're always right. The no?
It's not over. It's just beginning.
I'm gonna start
Prophetic as that was.
I